It's been about a year since I first sat down to talk about the Wealthsimple Visa credit card, and as we move through 2026, the Canadian fintech landscape has actually shifted quite significantly. I've made a few videos about this card in the past, essentially calling it not very good because the math simply didn't hold water against competition. But today I want to see if this card has actually stood the test of time, if the updates have been meaningful at all, or if it's still just a really nice shiny piece of metal or plastic designed to distract you from a better bottom line. So without further ado, let's take a look. To be fair, Wealthsimple hasn't been sitting idle. They've been listening to the feedback on Reddit, and probably their official channels as well, and they have actually addressed some of the biggest holes in their original offering. The most notable update is actually the insurance package. For a long time, this was essentially a naked card, but they finally added a full suite of travel protection, including a new flight delay benefit of up to $1,000, as recently as last month. And this is actually quite competitive, as it kicks in just after a 3-hour delay, which is better than the 4 to 6 window you see on a lot of big bank cards. They've also leaned into cashback boosts in the app, offering rotating 5 to 10% returns at selected retailers, which, I don't know, it adds a little bit of gamification to your spending, which I don't love. If you're a frequent traveler or you shop on international sites, the 0% exchange fee remains their killer feature, and it's still one of the strongest reasons to keep this card in your rotation, especially if you're getting it for free. However, there is a massive catch that a lot of people talk about. Since my last review, Wealthsimple has officially leaned into a subscription-style model, similar to Amex Cobalt actually. And the monthly fee has effectively doubled to $20 a month. That is $240 a year. To put that in perspective, the Amex Gold is $250, but it gives you $150 in direct travel and Nexus credits. For a pure cashback card, like Wealthsimple, to charge $240, the rewards need to be absolutely amazing to make sense. It feels like they're moving away from being a disruptor in this case and starting to act like a premium club where, as I've mentioned before, you pay a cover just to get through the door. If you aren't maximizing every single perk all the time, that $240 fee is a massive anchor on your net returns, which is a big drawback in my opinion. And that brings it to the elephant in the room, the Rogers Red World Elite Mastercard. While Wealthsimple was raising fees, Rogers hasn't actually made any changes, I should be honest with you. But it's still doing much better than the Wealthsimple card. If you're a Rogers Shaw or FIDO customer, and you get that 2% cash back on absolutely everything for free, but when you redeem it against Rogers' bill, it's worth 1.5 times more, 1.5x, giving you an effective 3% return for a $0 annual fee. It's very hard to bet against it. While Wealthsimple is trying to build a premium ecosystem, Rogers is essentially giving the same 2% rate and sometimes a better 3% redemption rate for absolutely nothing out of the pocket. And I know the Rogers is an oligopoly, but the math simply, once again, doesn't lie. Let's look at the actual numbers. If you're paying that $20 monthly fee for Wealthsimple to get 2% cash back, you're starting every year with $240 in the hole essentially. If you compare that with Rogers cards where you get 3% back for free, Wealthsimple literally never catches up, seriously. Even if you spend $100,000 a year on your card, the Rogers card will always leave you more money in your pocket because it doesn't have that massive fee dragging it down. And remember the fact from the last video where I essentially said that you need to spend $48,000 a year on the Wealthsimple card now just to break even, compared to a basic no-fee 1.5% card. And in a world where rent and grocery prices are inflating, you want your card to be working for you, not the other way around. And just to clarify, on the $48,000, here we're comparing the 2% of Wealthsimple and 1.5% that you would get with Rogers World Elite Mastercard if you weren't a Rogers customer, which, again, it doesn't really make sense, even in that case, for you to spend $240 every year. I hope that clarifies it. Now look, Wealthsimple does still offer the fee waiver, but of course it's quite exclusive. If you're a premium generation client with $100,000 invested, or if you direct deposit $4,000 of your paycheck every single month, the card is absolutely free. And for these users, the card is really good. It's 10 out of 10 for the 2% flat rate, the improved insurance, and the 0% foreign exchange fee make it one of the top tier 1 card solutions. However, very interestingly, there have been a lot of noise on Reddit lately about the waitlist. Even a lot of premium clients are reporting months-long waits to actually get the physical card, while Roger's approval is again something like 10 minutes. It seems like Wealthsimple is struggling with the scalability of their physical card production, which is reasonable. They are still an innovator of sorts, which is a bit of a letdown for a tech company that prides itself on speed. So once again, I'm stuck somewhere in the middle. I understand the value of this card, but again, I'm looking at this and I don't want to support an oligopoly. But again, I'm looking at the math of Rogers World Elite, Mastercard, and it just makes sense to me. So where do we stand today? Wealthsimple has definitely improved the product. It's no longer the same kind of empty card with no features. It's actually a really nice high-end travel card with decent insurance. But for an average Canadian, it has moved from being essentially a tool to being a lifestyle product. If you're paying for the slick app experience and the status of the metal card and the brand loyalty, if you want the absolute highest return on your spending with zero strings attached and you don't have any principles like me, the Rogers World Elite actually is the undisputed champion here again for the no-fee category. So how about you guys? Have the new insurance perks or the 0% foreign exchange fee actually changed your mind to switch to this card? Or are you still staying on Team Rogers for that 3% return? For the most part, that's where I am actually. Let me know in the comments. And as always, if you're looking to apply for a new card, check the link in the description for great Canadian rebates. They usually have a sign-up bonus that gives you a little extra cash just for getting approved. And once again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.